Oh, hello everybody. Welcome to a pop-up live. Dun, 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 dun. Sorry about the slight delay there. We have had technical issues tonight with the internet. So anyway, as you may have seen from the title card, this is exciting stuff, this. I ordered a Liaki J-22 Orao. I want to say Oreo, but that's a biscuit. I got this off eBay and I bought it from a company called Puzzlecraft Limited. So I think it cost me about £36. Some of you are thinking that's a lot of money for a 72nd scale aircraft, but well, these are different times these days. So I have not looked in the box yet, so this is going to be a genuine unboxing. So shall we go to the camera? First of all, packaging is entirely adequate. Very nice glossy box, as you can see. Beautiful artwork. So let us. Oh, you get a print. That's nice. That'll be that will be framed and going up in the HQ here. So right, what have we got here? We've got sprues, OVs. Very nice how they've taken the clear parts and they've wrapped them, they've bagged them, and they've wrapped them in protective covering as well. So we'll have a look at that in a second. So there is your fuselage and wings, undercarriage and stores and a few other bits and pieces. Oh, look at this. Canopy masks and photo etch bits. And then we have the color schemes. Let's get that out of the box. Goodness me, I've actually got fingernails these days and even I can't get the thing out. Oh no, we've got another page there. Well, Liaki certainly know how to pack things. Right. So those are our color schemes. So shall we delve into the plastic? And I got to say, on first impressions, it opens that way. The first impressions are that the standard of molding is exceptionally high. Now, I will be taking photographs in the studio just across the workshop here. So there will be very nice photographs, he says modestly. There will be nice photographs going up at some stage. Got to say, the J-22, very attractive looking aeroplane, looks like a cross between a Jaguar and a Gnat. But I am just going to zoom in on this one here. The first thing I've noticed is the recessed panel detail is exceptionally fine. That is utterly beautiful. I'm sure if my good friend Drew Manton was here at the moment, he would be extolling its virtues. So first impressions, that is really, really nicely done. What have we got here? We've got the wings. We've got wings and control surfaces. Got the tail planes. Let's just zoom out a bit. One thing I have noticed, and I don't know if you can pick it up on the camera, is the upper wing here does seem to be a little bit scratched. It looks like something in the packaging has scraped along there. I'm just going to have a look under the light, and I'm just going to. So I'm just giving it a quick clean here. And that, there is a little bit of damage there. That's disappointing. I will photograph that in the studio here, but something has gone along the top of the wing there, and it's kind of slightly gouged the plastic. I will take some photographs, but okay, it's not the end of the world, but I wasn't anticipating that, because again, the standard of molded detail here is absolutely beautiful. We'll just zoom in a bit, see if we can catch that. Goodness me, look at that. That is absolutely stunning. Like I say, just a little bit disappointed by whatever's gone on there. I might spray some Mr. Surfacer over it just to see if there's any issues. But before I do that, I will photograph it and I will contact Liaki just to let them know that there was a little bit of an issue with this kit. Like I say, not a game changer, but hey ho. What have we got here? We've got the sprue with the stores and tailplanes on it, and we've got some bits and pieces to do with the wheel wells as well, undercarriage bays, and the jet pipe. Again, very, very nicely done. Also, that's a pleasingly hard plastic. It's a Tamiya-like plastic. There is a tiny amount of flash on the tailplanes there, but not going to worry about that. That's easily removed with a swipe of a sanding stick. We'll have a look at the instructions in a moment, because it looks like there's two different types of tailplane. And then we've got this set of runners, which have the external stores and also 3 different types of tail cone there. That's interesting. I'll have a look at the instructions. Also, several different styles of wheels there as well. Well, like I say, we'll have a look at instructions. Drop tanks. There are our pylons and our ejection seat, and again, that is beautifully done. The detail on those pylons is exquisite. And also the sprues here are the runners sprues. Well, actually the sprues where they're connecting to the parts, very, very fine. Yeah, like that. And then we've got this sprue here, which is wondering why it's got protective film on it. So I'm just carefully going to, that's why. The rocket pods, they've put a layer of protective foam over the ends of the rocket pods so that they don't get damaged. That's a nice touch. So I'm just going to do this end. Yeah, there we go. So, yep, rocket pods. And again, it's really, really sharp. And are those BL755s? I'm sure somebody in the comments will put me right on that. They certainly look very similar. Anyway, let's have a look at the instructions, and I will play catch up with your comments in a second. Okay, this is fabulously packaged. Oh, decal sheet. Oh, ho. That looks like an epic decal sheet. Right, let's. So we have canopy masks there and photo etched bits and pieces. Thankfully, it's in brass. It's quite a thin brass, but not going to worry about that because the one thing I loathe with a passion is stainless steel. And yeah, it's the canopy mask is in like an Orao mask type of material. What have we got here? We've got side consoles, we've got instrument panel, we've got bits for the rocket pods, wing strakes there. We've got fins for stores. Yep, we'll have a look at the instructions. And we have the decal sheet here. So I'm just going to carefully prise this open. Now that is beautifully done. It's almost cartograph standard. It says screen printed by Decograph. I'd be interested to know who they are. I might look them up. Yep, colors are nice and dense. The trapping on it is absolutely first class. Just having a little look on the marking down there. There is a, just going to have a quick look. Nope, that was purely an artifact from the lighting in here. I thought there was a little bit of a gap between the red and the blue. No, it is absolutely spot on. That is a very nice sheet. Will say everything is packed in quite tightly, so you are going to have to get in there with a scalpel or quite probably chop it up in sections and then do do it in kind of like chunks really, rather than following it numerically. Some of this is very, very finely done, but that artwork on the back there, we will take some photographs of that. That is absolutely amazing. Yep, really like that. Instructions. So, dear modeler, Liaki is a new company specializing in production of short-run plastic kits. Well, if it's short-run, it doesn't show. We are happy to offer you our first 72nd scale kit, Yugoslav Soko J-22 Orao ground attack aircraft. This is the first time when this interesting aircraft is reproduced in plastic. We hope you enjoy building this kit and will take its place in your collection. Wow. That's interesting. The cover is in glossy paper, whereas this is kind of like almost like cartridge paper. But, oh, what have we got here? Oh, we got an amendment. Okay. So let's just zoom out a second. I will come to your comments in a second. Yeah, I think they forgot to tell people to use nose weight, so there is a little sticker on there reminding people. Okay, so there are your different tail cones there. So for early type and late variant. There are your different wheels within wheels in a spiral array. The very Jaguar looking undercarriage there looks fairly straightforward. More bits of undercarriage. Got to say, the instruction booklet, as you can see, is very small, but not detrimental to its quality. And there's, yeah, I think Dave Fleming's watching this. Hopefully, those are BL755s, I do declare. So what we got there, we got some stores with photo etch bits and pieces. Photo etch bits and pieces for the chaff dispensers. And we've got a rather useful little color guide there. Tells you what the colors are, then gives you a Mr. Color reference and an ammo of MIG reference, but there's nothing stopping you from, you know, cross-referencing that to your favorite paints. And then we have the color schemes. Goodness me, that is packed in tightly. So we have a Serbian Air Force One in from Keskamet. Somebody will put me right on that. 2007. That's the Serbian marking on the fin. I thought it was a Russian flag. And then we've got that one with the tail art from 2021. And on the reverse, there. Oops, on the reverse there is the stencil diagram. We do like stencils. Anybody who knows me. And then we've got some more schemes here. So we've got Yugoslav Air Force, Open Day Belgrade 1980s, and Yugoslav Air Force Air Show Le Bourget 1987. And then on the flip side of that, we've got goodness me, help me out here, folks. Who is this? That's not Croatian, is it? I'm gonna have to look this up. As this genuinely, I haven't opened the box, so this has caught me by surprise. Constanta Air Base. There's people shouting at me in the comments here at the moment. Going to tell me Romania. Of course it is Romanian. I quite like these ones with these little roundels. Got to say though, I might be utterly predictable. Might go for the Serbian one with the artwork on the fin because I like the look of that. Also, the color schemes as well. That's kind of like two-tone. It's in a three-tone finish, a four-tone, I suppose, if you count the underside. So it's kind of like a dark green and a mid-grey, a dark grey. Actually, there's another green, and there's a like a bottle green. So that's a five-tone camouflage. This one is much more straightforward. That's just dark green, dark grey, and what appears to be, is it light grey undersides? Let's have a look. H is blue, apparently. And then we've got these ones again, fairly straightforward color schemes. Oh, that one's, again, that's almost like a 4 or 5 tone camouflage on it. When you look at it in plan view there, you can see what I mean when I say it kind of looks like a cross between a Jaguar, BAC Jaguar, and a Fallen Gnat. It's quite a small aeroplane, so it's kind of like halfway between the two in terms of size, but it's such an attractive looking machine. It really is. I'm also just going to have a look at the parts here because we do have some extra tail planes, but I think the extra tail planes, I've misplaced them already. Good start. I get the feeling that these tail planes with the fairing on the end, I think those are probably for the two-seater. I think this is a common sprue, and I think this runs across both kits. So I will, when I finished here tonight, I will go over to the photo booth here and take some pictures. I'm very impressed. I have to say, very, very impressed. And like I say, this hasn't been sent to us. I've gone out and bought one because I'm curious as to what it's like. Right, here we go. Here are the comments. Go for it painting says hello. Phil says good evening everyone. Nick Brown says yay, a pop-up live. Hobby Time says hi guys. Philip Jones says hi all, just saw you alive Jonathan. Barely. Go for it painting hello. Philip Jones says never heard of this aircraft before. It is, we'll read up, I'll read you a little bit of it. The J-22 Orao is a joint project of Yugoslavia and Romania. This is like Sunday Night Ghost Stories, this. The countries which tried to pursue an independent policy in the aviation industry during the Cold War. In the beginning of this period, the fleet of Yugoslav and Romanian ground attack and bomber aviation consisted of obsolete MiG-17 and F-86 types. Development of the J-22 Orao began in 1970 by engineers and designers of the Yugoslav Aeronautical Technical Institute and the Romanian Institute of Science and Technology. The aircraft was powered by British Rolls-Royce Viper Mark 632 41R engines, which were in licensed production in Yugoslavia and Romania. It was also equipped with British Martin Baker ejection seats and Soviet GSH-23 cannons. This fact emphasizes the uniqueness and originality of the aircraft design. Manufacturing of the first prototype of the ground attack aircraft began in 1972. Two prototypes flew for the first time on the 31st of October 1974. The type was designated J-22 Orao in Yugoslavia and IAR-93 in Romania. A total of 165 ground attack aircraft were built. The J-22 Orao participated in almost all conflicts that unfolded at the territory of the former Yugoslavia. In addition to supporting ground troops, the J-22 pilots also claimed the destruction of a cruise missile. At the present time, the J-22 Orao remains in service with Serbian Air Force, and modernization of the type continues. There we go. And we're also, we're just going to do a live link to Liaki's website here. Here we go. So we'll share screen, present, share screen. So here we are live at Liaki's website here. So what? So they've, yes, these are, you may have seen them on the show. The Tupolev 22 M2 backfire. There's the NJ-22 Orao and the J-22. What else have they done? No, those are their three kits at the moment. But I'm just going to have a quick look at the two-seater and just to see if that's what those tailplanes are for. I'm sure they are. NJ, let's just do NJ-22 Orao. Yes, I think they, yes, they are. It would appear that the tailplanes with the fairing on the end are a feature of the two-seater. So you can't see it on that screen there. No, there we go. So I'm just going to go, and when I've finished here, when I've had my barley cup, I will be taking some photographs of this, and I'm really, really impressed. I'm just having a look at the tail planes here at the moment, and I'm just holding them up to the light, and the trailing edge goes very, very faint where it is so razor sharp. And like I say, the standard of the engraving is absolutely beautiful. Liaki, like so many kit companies at the moment, are Ukrainian, and Ukraine certainly knows how to make models at the moment. So I'm just distracted by how utterly gorgeous this kit is. I'm just having a look at the ejection seats. I know they mentioned the Martin Baker. Oh, there we are. Yeah, Martin Baker seat. Just having a look. Yeah, that's broken down quite a bit, but that's very, very nicely done. You get some straps for it. Now the sorry, the instrument panel, you can actually, I'm just having a look to see how they've done this. Okay, they're showing it as putting the decal on top of the photo etch, and then putting the photo etch onto a plastic part. I'd probably be tempted to do it the other way around, is put the plastic part on, put the decal onto the plastic part, then put the photo etch over the top, but put the photo etch over the top, glue it in place with some very, very thinned PVA glue, so that when it dries, it will dry glossy, and it will give you your kind of like glass effect. But I really like this kit. Yeah, I think Liaki should be congratulated for such a sterling kind of premiere. I'm just having a quick look. Yeah, so there's putting together everything for the undercarriage base. So there's the multi-part wheel wells. I am not anticipating any issues with this kit. The one thing I'm just going to have a look at. No, that's fine. There aren't any kind of locating pins or anything for the wing to fuselage join, but there's a great big shelf here. So when the wings are joined, they will sit on that shelf. So I know Liaki described this as short run plastic. I don't know. I've seen short run kits that definitely are short run kits. This is very, very high quality. I can't wait to build it. Can't wait to start building it. Unfortunately, I've got other things I've got to build at the moment, but this is gorgeous. I can't wait for Drew to come up so he can have a look at it as well, because I think he's going to be seriously impressed. In fact, I get the funny feeling that if he came up and saw this, he'd tell me to leave the room, and the next thing he'd start building the darn thing. So Shane says, how big will the finished model be? There we go, Shane. It's going to be, do you want this in centimeters or inches? I will give it to you in both. So in terms of length, it's going to be about 18 centimeters or 7 inches long. and it's going to have a wingspan of about 5.5 inches, I would say, or around 14 centimeters or 140 millimeters, depending on how you want to do it. But yeah, Shane wants it in centimeters. There we go. It's like I say, it's about halfway between a Jaguar and the Gnat in terms of size, and certainly the layout of the aircraft has, to my mind, it's got elements of both in there. But there we go. I am going to leave you to your evening now. I'm just going to pack up a few things here, and shock horror, actually get on with some modeling tonight, because I want to get the rest of the decals onto the Panzer 1, because that needs finishing, and then I can start, once I've got that out of the way, I can start my Montes caravan from ICM, and I can start looking at doing the CMP from Italeri as well. So, and obviously my Oreo. So fabulous stuff. If only we had like an extended weekend where I wouldn't have to do any work. And oh, what do you know? It's the Easter weekend. So might be some workbench time going on. Who knows? Fingers crossed. Anyway, on that note, it just remains for me to say thank you for watching. As Shane Weir says, happy Easter, Good Friday here. Shane lives in the future. Who wins the Premier League, Shane? I'm hoping it is Liverpool. But yeah, Easter here again. Oh, that sounds like a song, and it is. We'll put the link up on the on the page. So I'm gonna carry on here and more importantly, take some photographs over there in the photo booth. So keep your eyes peeled. And then hopefully we'll be back on Sunday for the Sunday service. And if Drew is back for that, we might just have another quick run through with this kit again to get his impressions. So yeah, we'll see what we can do. Anyway, until the next time, as always, thank you for watching. Stay safe, stay out of trouble, and we'll see you very, very soon. So until the next time, bye for now.